you've written a book about how women can maybe get ahead in their careers. So what prompted you to write that book? When did you have time to write it? And what are the main lessons that somebody who hasn't read the book yet might learn from you right now about the book?
I started this book journey actually several years ago. It was actually a 4-year process. And when I was working on it, it was because I was coaching a lot of women. So at that point, I had coached maybe 1,000 women over the years. So I do these 15-minute calls to help and help them through their careers. And I realized a lot of the themes were so similar. And so I pulled them together, and a lot of the advice I put in the book was based on those conversations that I had over that 8-year period. And I was able to pull it together into 10 rules for new women, 10 new rules for women at work. And those rules are really to help women take back their power, as I say, which is, every day, there are so many circumstances where you don't have a lot of power. But when you do, taking advantage of those opportunities and really leaning in and making things happen, that's really what the book is about.
All right, let's suppose I don't want to spend the money to buy the book, but I'm thinking about buying the book and I'm a woman. Can you give me one tip or something, or one thing that you would say somebody should do if they want to rise up, they're a woman in a business environment?
Well, I'll give you an example. Don't give yourself a free pass, right? How many times before you turn on that Zoom meeting, before you show up to a meeting, do you tell yourself, well, I'm just going to show up and not say anything. I'm not going to have any impact. I'm just going to sit in the back. Like my friend Carol Izazaki, who's a leadership coach, calls it unintentional, ridiculous strategies that we employ. But then how many times, do you actually leave a meeting when you just did that, where you didn't have an impact? So what if you walked in every meeting, every day with intention? What do I want to accomplish today? How do I want to show up? And just made those choices. And the things that don't matter, just cut those things away. Really kind of no longer giving yourself a free pass and saying, you know what, I'm just not going to get that done. That's really critical.
So did you write this when you were at Facebook, or?
So I wrote it over a 4-year period, and partly when I was at Facebook, and partly
there was somebody else at Facebook that wrote a book about women leaning in. You're probably familiar with that book. Did she say, hey, look, this is my territory, you don't write a book about this?
Well, I can tell you the definitive answer is she wrote the foreword to my book. So
okay,
you can
so
read
she likes the book.
you can read her thoughts on it.
Okay, any more books in the works?
I think I'm good for book writing for now. I actually write a weekly newsletter, though, where I share some thoughts that I'm having top of mind.